Today we're with Dr. Anderson Strickland. Could you tell us today how you became a Christian counselor?
Yes, I got saved at 25 in Okinawa, Japan, and for the next few years, I muddled around with thinking that I might have been called to a pastorate, learning to live for God, and eventually in my life, I ran into a gentleman who taught temperament therapy. Temperament therapy is the idea that every soul is uniquely and wonderfully created by God, and it has a blueprint that comes with your temperament. And temperament counseling is the idea of determining what that temperament is and then using that to help people find their way with God and in life. I enrolled in Calvary Bible College where I got my bachelorate, and after that I moved on to Jacksonville Jacksonville Theological Seminary, where I acquired my master's and my PhD in Christian counseling. I have certifications with the National Christian Counselors Association in Sarasota. I have multiple disciplines in the area of counseling, including premarital counseling, family counseling, crisis counseling, addiction recovery. There's several others that don't come to mind right now, but I've taken these disciplines in order to have a broader spectrum of understanding when it comes to helping people find their way.
Dr. Strickland, in at our church and at other churches I've been to, we have done personality profiles. How do you distinguish, say, a personality profile from a temperament profile? Is there a real difference?
That's a good question, Andrew. A lot of people believe that all of these psychology tests are about personality. Personality is a mask that we design for ourselves. It's how we want to present ourselves to others so that we are seen. So a personality is self-made. And if you have insecurities while you produce your personality, the personality covers those realities in our character. Behavior is learned experience through attrition. If you go through a process of hitting the same wall over and over, eventually you learn not to hit the wall. That's behavioral modification. Temperament is a little bit different because it's based on what God created as far as our mind, will, and emotions are concerned. When God created each one of us, He decided how He wanted us to be. And according to Psalms 139, He's even written a book about our lives. So God's proactive involvement in us begins basically at our created state of our soul, which is our mind, will, and emotions. And that's the premise of temperament therapy.
Would you say that temperament is pretty flexible, or would you say a personality is flexible? How does that?
If I had to choose from my perspective, I would say that personality is a little more fickle because we have a tendency to put on a face rather than to let reality come through in our relationships. What temperament does is gets us in touch with why we do the things we do, the actual motive behind what we do. Personality is the creation of something that we like better than who we think we are. And what temperament therapy does, it allows you to see what God has done so that you can make adjustments from your spirit level rather than just a superficial personality level.